Peace and blessings, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. I hope everybody's doing good, man. I hope everybody is safe and well. I hope everybody is not scared. All right? I hope everybody's not scared. It's important to be righteous and to be positive and to soak up all the goodness that we have around us or to our availability. I'm trying to think what I'm going to say. I do have good news. My mother, the lady in my life, she is coming. All right, she's coming to visit. My mother's a very busy lady. She's a nurse. She wears many, many hats. All right. I do love her, even though we've had our differences. Even to the point where I've shared some of those differences to you guys on social media. But my mother knows that I love her. All right. But as much as I love some of you ladies, some of you ladies are crazy. All right. And ladies, you don't have to get mad or get sensitive. It's the truth. A lot of you are not in your right state of mind. I heard, and this is not to be disrespectful or to upset anybody. I've heard that when you see a group of women, I think I've said this before. When you see a group of women say 4 or more ladies, no disrespect, it is said that statistically at least 3 out of every 4 women that you see are on medication for mental health. 3 out of every 4 women that you see are on medication for mental health. And that's not an international thing. That was back when I was in the States. So yesterday, I was looking at a video, and they were talking about a music festival that usually happens in the South. All right, and I was interested. I've never been to it. I was just interested, and I wanted to see what they were talking about. I thought it had something to do with this, with all this boycotting and stuff. I'm cleaning off my sneakers too. I like my shoes to be clean. I thought it was in regards to the boycotting things, right? And how certain groups are being affected. So I started watching it, and then I seen that it turned into some type of propaganda about Black America. What was it? Black America and God, I can't. I gotta say this, man. Since I could be honest now. Since I'm here in Jamaica. If we're living in a real reality and like people are not crazy and we don't have like a lot of manipulation, things should make sense. I think I don't know. We're living in such a weird time, especially since 2020. Since 2020, to me, my personal opinion, I think life has been very, very weird. All right, and I've personally experienced things that I felt was odd, and I didn't like, and I realized that it is because negative things have to be normalized before it is adapted. Right? So, for instance, if you are a big fan of say, crime movies or criminal movies. No disrespect, right? When some of us then see or experience opportunity to then go under the leadership or guidance of, say, a gangster or a criminal, right? Subconsciously, some of us will lean toward that. They be like, "Oh yeah, that guy is cool. He's like me. He's a gangster. He's a felon. He's a criminal. I love gangsters. I love criminals." So we cannot be surprised when, under the leadership of criminals, that our environment becomes a criminal environment. Now, those of us that say are not into criminality, right? We don't want to be a felon. We're not promoting prison. I don't think there's nothing cool about prison. I went to jail a couple of times. It's not fun. I didn't get any cool points from that. So that's why it's mind-boggling to me that psychologically we have put ourselves into a program where, and this is why I believe that everybody, this is no disrespect, this is why I don't believe everybody is human or everybody is actually of natural birth. I think clones are a real thing. And these are the entities that these low vibrating archons they use. If you're vibrating low, then they could use you. Or if you're a clone, your body can be used because you don't have a soul. And then we this is for me, like when hopefully when my mother comes down here, I'll get a chance to talk to her. And then what I want to do is I'll probably if I meet some of my other family members, the ones that I actually talk to, that I'm cool with, I'll actually kind of like interview them and like, so you guys can like understand me a little bit more. All right. Hopefully I can meet some of my good family members that I actually like and that I'm cool with. All right. And then I could kind of like explain to you some things. All right. And then when I speak to my mother, all right, the woman that birthed me, all right, then you guys can understand where I'm coming from and what I've been through. All right. Then you guys can overstand exactly my mind frame. All right. And you see, in the public court of law, you're not meant to win. All right? Because the entities that control the narrative or control the media or whatever, right? They want to keep their foot on your neck to make sure that you don't have anything prosperous going on. In the realm of a demonic, devilish world, everybody has to suffer. In the realm of a demonic, wicked, if you're under the leadership of criminals, they don't care who you are. Everybody has to suffer. But the hardest thing to do in this third dimensional realm is to know that your life has been a lie and you've been manipulated by forces that cannot be seen by people in this third dimensional realm, in this physical realm, and you just have to go by it. You have to play the game. It can be burning you to your soul, right? And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I have been upset to the point where I feel like my brain will explode. But I have to stay calm. And this is why I'm not going to jump the gun or do anything crazy. But I know that certain people, right, based on the court of law in the public, right, where they become judge, jury, and executioner, the hardest part is the people that are pushing these agendas on you, or maybe have set you up or made you look bad because of a moment of weakness, right? So they can manipulate that. They can then play on your psyche. So now I am under 24/7 psychological attacks. I have to people. I have to deal with people saying this word over here to try and trigger you. Then you have to worry about people over here saying this word to try and trigger you, right? So it's a constant psychological attack that I have to stay focused on. And then I have to then be mindful to know that some people are agents, some people are paid to do certain things, some people are looking for trouble. I might be on a TV show, it might be the Truman Show, because I used to wonder to myself, why are people so intrigued with me? What have I done or said where people are so intrigued that their one's curiosity turns into envy and jealousy and hate? And I have to say this too. A lot of you Nephilim, because I know a lot of you are not human, because I have to walk these streets and I got to deal with y'all. I know a lot of y'all are not human, but a lot of you Nephilim are self-deflecting a lot, man. Listen, I have to say this. All of you that believe into this ISIS, Anunnaki stuff, I have to be real with y'all. If you acknowledge ISIS as your leader or a goddess or a deity, if you are of the male gender, according to things that I've heard, and you can confirm it or do your own research, if you are part of the male party or the priesthood of ISIS, you have to be engaging in unnatural, ungodly activities with the same gender. Let me say that again. If you are under the house of Isis, Easter, whatever you guys want to call her, right? This deity, if you are of the male gender, according to her and according to things that I've heard, you guys can do your own research. That's why I love the internet, because the internet is undefeated. If you are of the male gender and you want to be successful, be whatever in this realm, because in this third dimensional realm, if you don't adhere to certain principles or certain powers, you cannot succeed. So certain men that you see in powerful positions right now that are under ISIS, they have engaged in same gender activities. I do not want to be placed in those categories. I am not super successful. I don't have any big mansions. I don't have any big cars. I don't have any big diamonds. I don't have any yachts. I have not sold my soul. But because I have to go through this, I have to take on the pressure of BS from people that I know that are engaged in a certain lifestyle that can then self deflect on me. But the thing is, and this is the main reason why I'm so joyful and I'm so happy and I'm at peace, because I know that God knows the truth. I have to go through this persecution because of this third dimensional realm. Like I said to you before, I don't feel like this Jesus character, right? And that's no disrespect, because I heard another Nephilim, and I'm being honest with you guys. Listen, when I do my map breakdown, when I talk about a lot of stuff, I'll fully explain to you what's really going on, right? When I do my full breakdown. But a lot of these Nephilim, they have, I guess based on this technology too, because I'm on YouTube and I like to just scroll on there. They're all over my YouTube feed. I don't know if the Alphabet Boys place them in a type of program where I'm only getting the feeds of Nephilim, because I go through my scan. I'm like, some of these people, I recognize them. I don't feel like this Jesus character, but I do feel powerful. I feel extremely powerful. So now I have people now who are possibly Anunnaki, reptilians, whatever, right? Who feel compelled to want to challenge me because that is how they rule. According to lore, to Anunnaki lore, these people are militant and mighty. They believe in domination. They don't believe in surrender. They don't believe in none of that. All they know is domination. They dominate people. According to lore. The only thing that I question sometimes is that if these entities hated God so much and they want to have this rematch battle, because that's what it's about, right? Anunnaki or custodians or whatever you guys are. You guys want to have this rematch with God, right? Why haven't you unalived all the humans? Why haven't you unalived all of God's children so then you can get the attention of the Most High so he can come down here and talk to y'all? You know what's funny? You Anunnaki or Nephilim or whatever you guys are, you guys talk all this big and bad stuff. All this tough guy stuff, right? And I've seen the spaceships. Y'all don't have to believe me. I've seen the spaceships. I've seen archangels. The Bible told y'all. The Bible said that some of you guys would see things and hear things. So for some of y'all to even be afraid now is mind-boggling. The only people that should be afraid is Nephilim and fallen angels. And the hybrids. If you're human, you should be praying and smiling and feeling good about yourself because you have a soul. God is not mad at us. And this is why I know that I must be a powerful people. I must be a powerful person from a group of powerful people, because I have the attention of all the Nephilim. All the Nephilim that claim to tell y'all that how they're rich and they're influential and they have this and they have that, they're all on my jockstrap. All of them. This is the truth. If what we've seen is not a lie or AI, in my last couple of months just being here alone, I've seen things that don't even make sense. You have too. Listen, I gotta say this too. I know that this is just for us, right? When I say certain things, I'm not talking to everybody. When I say certain things, I am not talking to everybody. They know who they are when I'm talking to them. When I speak directly to your soul. So if you don't have a soul, if it don't apply, let it fly. But some of y'all jump out of the window because you think somebody's talking to you or talking about you, and that's not even the case. Some of you are expendable. Some of you are clones and NPCs and don't even know it. Some of you wake up each morning and don't acknowledge anything. Some of y'all are bitter, angry, mean, malicious, and everybody thinks that they're going to heaven. Everybody thinks they're going to heaven, but that's not the case. Let's be honest with ourselves. If you like to lie, it's most likely that you're not going to heaven. If you like to steal, it's more likely that you're not going to heaven. You like to unalive people? It's more likely that you're not going to heaven. If you believe in doing ungodly things in the sight of God to little children, you are not going to heaven. A lot of you are not going to heaven. You know that already. If I was anything that these people claim that, if I was anything what these people claim that they say, they would have tried to crucify me already. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. Yeah, he mix up in this. He's mixed up in that. I'm so glad God knows the truth. It's true. Men lie, women lie. Hey, listen. This is just me talking now. All right? In life, a lot of things happen. And over time, if you get yourself to a place where you can vibrate high, you see things that will probably blow your mind. I remember one time I meditated. I was in Georgia and I was grounding. And I was meditating and the sun was setting. And I meditated so hard, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. There was trees and, there was birds singing and all that stuff. I meditated so hard. The scenery that I seen, because I was in my parents' yard at the time in Georgia. The scenery was like this. I seen the few houses in the distance, because this is suburbs, of course, and then trees, and then all of a sudden, the world faded. Everything turned into black and white or gray, and then all the noise that I heard, all of the noise disappeared. It was so crazy. It felt like for a moment I was in a whole different dimension, and then I kind of snapped out of it. Real talk. I'm being real with y'all. It was so bugged out. But I say that to say this. I don't want to come to y'all with no bull. All right? And I'm not a wizard. All right? But to me, I told you guys we don't wear the same size shoe. But to me, and this is one of the reasons why I got a clout chase for a second. This is one of the reasons why I admired the young guy you guys know as Kobe. All right? Did you guys know that Kobe was on his way to being a Billy? Not a bully. He was on his way to being a Billy. Did you guys know that? Did you know that several companies were legally going against Kobe for copyright stuff? Did you guys know that? Worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and you guys don't think it's suspicious that he had an accident in a helicopter? If young girls, young boys were probably getting injured because of Kobe Bryant's shoes, I guarantee you Kobe Bryant would say something. You know why? Because I think that would have been the human thing in Kobe for him to show his humanity, to say, boys and girls, I don't want you to get hurt over my shoes. Because then I like that, because I can relate to that, because I'm human. I cannot wait for God to just separate the fake from the real. We just have to play this stupid game and this I gotta play this stupid thing where people come around me and talk and say crazy stuff because they want entertainment, or they want to hear me, or I gotta go back and forth lyrically with some rapper who's washed up. Huh? I'm not doing that. Hey, let me get this off my chest while I got a little bit of time. I've been talking. Listen, to the camel face dude that's married to the girl from the rocket ship city, you're finished. You bid finished. I could tell you guys some things, man, that would, man, it's crazy. I'm not even going to do it. Listen, I wish everybody the best. God knows, and listen, when it's time, we will all see for ourselves if we're being lied to, or this is all BS, or this is all a show or a simulation. We're going to find out the truth. But you have to understand this. All right? These entities, they don't want to get caught. These entities, they don't want to be revealed. These entities, they don't want you to know. It is a game to them. They want to giggle. They want to laugh. They're like little school children. Let me say that again. They want to giggle. They want to laugh. They want to talk mess. That's what makes them feel good. Because in reality, there is a universal creator. They didn't create this. You understand? They may manipulate this, but they did not create this. And for years, I got to say this to you, Anunnaki Nephilim, for years, you guys have been making people afraid with your acts of violence, your weapons, your bombs, your threats. For years, people have been afraid of y'all. Not me. Right? And it's for the first time in a long time, the powers that be, you guys are afraid. You guys stench of fear. And I can smell it. Just by the way you guys act, your mannerisms and the loud talking, and me, the boy, the party boy, me do this to you. The fact that you guys have to talk like that, let me know that you are scared. When I was in Iraq, all right, Babylon, all right, we went on missions in our Humvees, in our MRAPs, in our whatever, tanks, all right? Sometimes we would pray before we went out because there's chances that you might not make it back. If I told you guys I wasn't afraid, I'd be a liar. If I told you guys that I wasn't afraid some days, I would be a liar. I was afraid. I've seen men passed away. I've seen bombs blow up. I've seen mortars land feet from me to the point where I had to run. True story. I'm blessed. I'm lucky to be alive. I went to Iraq 3 times during the height of that war. 3 times. People I know are not even alive anymore. A lot of people that I know that I went to war with, they're not around. They're gone. There are some days I would talk to people. I'd be like, hey man, what's up with you? How you doing? All right, have a good mission. I'll see you when you get back. Just to find out the next day that they lost their lives in a gunfight or in a shootout. Listen, my days of fear are long gone. I wish you guys the best. All right? Listen, I got to say this. When and if you guys see spaceships, if you're alive, I think anybody that's alive now, if you're alive to see what's going to happen, is going to be incredible. Right? But when you guys see the spaceships and when the archangels touch down, it is going to be too late to run. Some of you have weapons. If your weapons don't work, it's going to be too late to run. This is one of the reasons why they're building robots. This is why I want you humans, if you have a soul, use your mind, use your discernment, all of that. It's going to be very, very real. Listen, once things happen, once things take effect, there's not going to be no sorries. There's no coming back. There's not going to be no time to apologize. You understand? All right.